Over the past 10 years, I received so many messages from parents asking me the same question. If we don't speak English, how can we help our child become confident speaking it? So in this video, I want to share my daughter Aniya's English learning journey. What worked for us, what mistakes we made, and a few common misunderstandings many parents have about learning English. Let's start from the beginning. When Aniya was 3 to 5 years old, she was exposed a lot of English. And honestly, it all started by accident. At that time, we didn't really think talking to our child was such a big deal. We just wanted some quiet time while driving. So instead of playing Chinese kids songs, I switched to French and English ones in the car. To my surprise, these new sounds completely caught her attention. A few weeks later, one day after we came back from the park, she suddenly sang the whole song. I'm a little teapot. I remember that moment so clearly. It felt magic. It felt magical. After that, I began to notice she could sing bits and pieces from many English songs. So I thought, well, she loves it. Why not put her more English input? Maybe later on, she wouldn't struggle with English the way I did. That's how I started, without a plan, just trying to build a little English environment at home. After that, I began looking for English songs, cartoons, picture books for Aniya. Back then, I could only find a few apps, Dona English, Guagua English songs, and Kids Dub Show. She was only 4 at that time. She didn't know any words yet, so she just listened and repeated over and over. A short 2 to 3 minute clip could take her half an hour to finish Dumby. Every afternoon after kindergarten, she'd spend over an hour just practicing English. Her favorite cartoons were Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol, My Little Pony, and Penelope. She loved that little blue koala from Penelope so much that when she started elementary school, I saw that little blue koala onto her large bag. When she was 6, we began listening to English audiobooks, more than 100 of them, each with a CD. Every day after school, we'd sing along for about 30 minutes, and a week she could perform 3 story songs all by herself. That phase lasted almost a year, and it really built her sense of rhythm and pronunciation. When she was around 5 years old, she even invented her own language. It sounded like English, same tone, same speed, but the words were completely made up. Soon after, she began speaking in real English sentences. At that time, my husband and I didn't actually speak English, so she mostly talked to herself. To keep her motivated, I encouraged her to speak to the camera, introducing her favorite toys or books. Later, she'd also talk while drawing or doing crafts, as if she was sharing her world with people watching from the other side of the screen. In 2018, when Aniya was 7, I started a WeChat account called Slow Craft, just to document her little English videos, cooking, theater visits, park walks, or playing with her friends. Later, during her first school of homeschooling, during her first year of homeschooling, she even launched her own English YouTube channel. But since she also loves writing, she writes thousands of words every day. She eventually decided to stop updating that channel. It was a tough choice, but it made sense. Now let's take a look at some of her English speaking videos, moments along the way.
So we can do it. Just like this decorating this house, because I think this house is so dirty, it's so not good. So let's open it and decorating our house. My first name is off, so name is not great. So everyone is Aniya, not Aniya Game Toys, it's Aniya Garden. No, it's Aniya Game Garden. It's called Zebra in a World. Oh my gosh. And that's back. Coop. And her said, Baba Boo, you just like the pig. And her said, you just like that. And every Papa Baby was turned to the floor. Gran put a treasure chest over there because her don't want clothes again. And then was up, up, up. There. My Little Pony, you guys can know what things? Yes, it's the 一米公主 cat doll. You guys, it's exciting. It's giant one. I think you guys just know that. It's just one time. Hi, Boo! That's me. I'm in this big forest. You can say it's forest, but it's a big, big grass. Look, and it has lots of people in here to have picnic. It's fun to have picnic, and I will play hide and seek. But I don't think they will find me in here. And when I was hiding, I found some blue things, but I don't think it was blueberries. It was very little, and if you crash it, I don't know what color. Yeah, this was really hard. I'm not really like these things, but I have one thing. It's my best part. I like it. Over here you can open, and over here you can open too. And in here we have some things. I'm really excited. Do you guys excited? Let's see. Over here have a man. Magic tree house. This tree house can let Jack and Annie. It's the characters. It can let the main characters to travel in time. Now you think, this book, how does they travel to? What time does it travel Now we will put sugar, milk, and oil in this. And now first we got oil. Then it's done. Dumping it. Dump. Okay, that's well should. Okay, our picture are done. Now let's have a book from here. I just write a little book over here. So, and first page I write my dad is want to look in books. And second page, let's sing. My daddy like to sing. It's just over here like sing on the rainbow. So here I will have a sing. My daddy. What's up, guys? Today I have new friend named Apple. Hello, I am Apple. Today we are doing some haircuts on our shirts, and we think it's really fun to paint it, so we use it. Okay, now let's do it. Fish! Oh, the card is beautiful. My mouse like it. Look. My fish love your cards too. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Did you mouse like my things? I like it. I like it. My fish like it too.
Now I already learned from 2 hours, and when I know it is, I'm very focusing on what I learned, and I'm very clear in my head. I can do the most hardest thing first, not the easiest. It is good for me, and I will do it for a week and see how it works.
Now everyone, you see, all the green creature is a neuron, and neuron's arm is an axon, and the neuron's legs are the spines. I draw 3D spines, but maybe there are more, and the eyes and muscles. And when they talk, it's just like this. They talk to each other. When 5 or 6 of them talk to each other, it is a brain link. This is when I read in Learning How to Learn. It's fun.
However, I never said to the camera since I was a child. I was scared of the camera. What should I do? I didn't think it was fun. I made mistakes over and over again. I can make good videos after all. First, you need to know one thing. That mistake is not a bad thing. It actually is very good for you.
If you do something wrong, it means you can do better next time. And if you know the mistake and correct the mistake, it will be very powerful. Sometimes mistake is not a bad thing. Maybe it's a reward.
Looking back now, I think I only did one thing right when it comes to my daughter's English learning. I just kept giving her consistent exposure to the language. If you want to raise a child who can speak English confidently, the best situation, of course, is when one or both parents can speak English. But if that's not the case, you can still create a small English environment at home. Later on, I realized something I didn't know before. Too much screen time at an early age, especially before school, can really hurt a child's ability to focus later on. Back then, I honestly had no idea. If you care about how electronic devices affect kids' brains, you can check out that video called Not Lazy, Just Brains Hijacked. For younger kids, I personally recommend English songs and audiobooks. Songs are easy. You can play them anytime, even in the car. And audiobooks are like storybooks that can actually talk. They're great for keeping kids interested without too much screen time. Many parents focus only on listening and speaking, but actually listening and speaking help us live, while reading and writing help us learn. In this video, I will emphasize the importance of reading and writing in language. Reading ignore English books really helps with grammar, vocabulary, even listening skills. When choosing books for your child, don't care about what other kids their age are reading. Just focus on whether this book fits your child's reading zone. Here's a little trick. If there are 2 or 3 new words in every 100, that's perfect. But if there are more than 5 and your child can't guess the meaning, then it's probably too hard. Aniya started with leveled readers that go step by step from single words to phrases, then to full sentences and stories. We've been homeschooling for 3 years now. And since we stopped going to school, we've designed all our classes ourselves. In 2024, our language lessons were bilingual. Aniya would write in Chinese, translate it into English, then memorize it. And starting in 2025, language became her part of science learning, physics, history, biology, even coding, all in English. Her language journal actually followed a very natural path. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. But for school, it was all about listening and speaking. During school age, she started with reading and writing. And now, English has become the tool she uses to learn other subjects, because she has both input and output every day. English became part of her life, almost a second mother tongue. My biggest takeaway is this: building a reading habit takes time and a lot of setup. You might prepare tons of books and materials, and your kid might only read one of them. But once they get hooked, you will be amazed how much they read on their own. And you started wondering, where did she even find the time? So this is basically how my daughter grew in her English learning. Of course, it wasn't all smooth. We took a few wrong turns too, and I want to share them because other people's detours can become your signposts. First, the I just can't remember thing trap. For a long time, I thought memory was just talent. I believed my daughter simply couldn't remember words. And she felt it too. She labeled her as someone with a bad memory. So, I can't remember became the perfect excuse for spelling texts. But after we studied learning strategy and brain science together, we realized the truth. It wasn't about memory problem. It was a lack of enough repetition in a short span. Basically, not enough hard work. So we increased the frequency of practice, and something amazing happened. Her memory actually got stronger. The more she practiced, the faster her memorized. She even said, "Wow, I was fake learning this whole time." And honestly, my ignorance helps her stay in that fake learning phase longer than she should have. Second, letting go of competitions. When she was younger, we enjoyed a few competitions. Not for medals, just two kids at a similar level. But in the next 2 years, the events became more commercial. Lower entry bars, longer programs, and too many kids trained to speak in the same standardized way. My daughter felt it wasn't worth our time anymore, and I agreed. Over the years, I realized something important. Real skills are never built in a short time. And real expression isn't about pleasing others. It starts with speaking for yourself. Competitions are not good or bad. They're tools. Once you know what your child truly needs, you'll know whether to use them or walk away. A lot of parents have certain beliefs about learning English. And honestly, some of these beliefs sound reasonable. But they're simply not true. And they can seriously affect a child's confidence. Let me share a few of the biggest myths I see. Myth 1. If you miss early childhood, you'll never catch up. People often say babies learn languages best. But the truth is, babies just have higher curiosity and fewer distractions. Learning is basically their full-time job. As we grew up, learning becomes just one tiny part of life. So, if you don't put in time and attention, of course, your focus gets scattered. But if you see yourself as a lifelong learner, you can recreate that baby-like immersion at any age. You complete with distractions. You make learning important again. I started learning English at 42. I study at least three hours a day. It's been 670 days, over 2,200 hours now. What does it feel like? It's like when you just learn to ride a bike. You are not steady yet, but you want to practice all the time, even if you fall. I'm addicted. That mix of I get some of it, and some of it is still mastery. So, don't label yourself. Don't afraid to start, decide, and go. Myth 2. Accent is the most important thing. I'm not saying pronunciation doesn't matter. It does. But it shouldn't not be the first thing you worry about. Language is basically your brain learning to control your tongue. It needs thousands of repetitions. If you obsess over accents too early, you won't even dare to speak. I spoke dialect for 50 years. When I entered a school that required standard Mandarin, I took almost a year to speak comfortably. No one laughed at me. I made friends who still kept in touch today. Your speed, your rhythm, and your natural voice, those things make you you. And the people who truly want to communicate with you don't care about your accent at all. The only people who judge accents, they're the ones who can't speak English anyway. Think about your friends. South accents, North accents. Have accents ever stopped you from making friends? Exactly. Myth 3. If we live abroad, my kid will naturally speak English. Living in an English-speaking country helps with daily conversations. Because you need it every day, you have no choice. But school English is a different thing. Reading, writing, logic, vocabulary, even native kids have to train those skills. Whether you live in China or overseas, listening, speaking, reading, writing are all the things that need time and deliberate practice. Going abroad doesn't magically give you more grammar and writing skills. It just gives you more pressure to learn. So, what actually works? If you want your child to speak confidently and write smoothly, use English in your daily life, even just a little. Create small pockets of English at home. Give them input, let them produce output, and keep it consistent. English is not a gift, it's a habit. And habits are built one small use at a time. Alright, that's all about this episode. See you next time.